we never run. You wouldn't need it if you knew what we overcome.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. In today's matchup, two teams come off tough losses a week ago and want to turn things back around today. With that, let's hand it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've got the call of this Week 12 matchup.
From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Houston Texans and the New Orleans Saints. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And a glance here at the vet. He's got a lot of years under his belt in the National Football League. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And his first look is incomplete. Oh, Thomas unable to reel that one in. That'll bring up second down.
Here we go now. Green 39.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 12 yards there as they move the chains. Well, we saw the practice film this week. They wanted to focus on these intermediate passing plays, and it paid off there.
And they took that focus not just to the practice field, but in the film room to show the guys exactly what they wanted, what types of looks they should expect to get, and how they would beat those coverages each and every time, and it paid off on that play.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. But fortunately, the Saints were able to hold on to it, so they will indeed keep possession.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Catch here, left side, Thomas. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down.
Now, that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
And look at this. They're keeping the punter on the side. They're going to go for it here on the opening drive.
All right, here we go. Green 39.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Drops it off to Ajayi. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Boy, that's some kind of effort. When he caught it, I doubted if he could get there. Knew it was going to be close, but credit him. Really good effort.
How about the rack on that play, the run after catch? But most of the time we think of it as just being an open field and picking up yardage. Sometimes you have to be real physical in order to gain the yardage you need for a first down.
They'll look to throw. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. And how about this first drive? They're being aggressive, slinging it around.
Really confident, too, because they're not trying to fool them with running plays, throwing it, and they're being very successful right now.
This is Ajayi. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
They go play action here on first down. This will be caught at the 2. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
Now a play fake here on first down. That's caught at the 3. Nothing on that one. It'll be second down. And so far, a very nice, methodical opening drive.
This has the feel of a scripted drive that they rehearsed perfectly all week long, and now they're executing it on game day.
Script looks good so far. He'll drop to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. And tough starting field position here. They're going to go with a tight end here on the running play. Cuts it out to the sideline. And they finally are able to take him down at the opposite 47. A big-time run there by Anderson. 51 yards. What a big run there to get out from the shadow of their own end zone. The defense is probably thinking, hey, let's pin him deep. Not the case.
You're exactly right. When I played, we used to have a defensive coordinator in these situations who would call the defense and tag onto it, get a safety, push them back. And sometimes you overcommit on defense, and it worked against them in this play. Offense worked it out very, very well. Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Eight yards to go here on second down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. It's complete to Fuller. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Two yards to go here on third down. They're going to look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. Now fourth down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember.
Those really long field goals, when they are made, they are things of beauty. But there is a danger to getting them started, isn't there?
Yeah, with that low drive, you've got to really keep it low to the ground, don't you, to get that distance.
Yeah, hard to just pop it up in the air because otherwise it's not going to get there. So he's got to drive it low in order to have the distance, and that usually puts it in jeopardy, gives him a chance to block it, and everyone knows it on the other side. That's when you get your best jumpers on the other side of the field and try and get up and get it.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Call it a pickup of 7, and it's a second down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. They dump off underneath to Ajayi. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move. Fresh set of downs here.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice gain.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player as well as a physical specimen. That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
He'll look to throw. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Jay Ajayi, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Saints have taken the early lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. They'll run it again with Miller. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
And they're just a couple of yards shy of a 1st down here on 3rd down. They isolate Hopkins on the left side. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
And that's how you pick up a 1st down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
A 1st down carry now for Miller. And an alley to run. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. A very solid gain of 27. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
From the 4-yard line, it's 1st and goal now. Now it's Miller. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here. This close, sneak it.
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
Second and goal to go now. They'll give it to him right up the gut. No gain on the play there, and they're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They'll try to punch it in with Miller. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal.
Partner, it's decision time now. I know it's still just the second quarter, but you have an opportunity to either kick the field goal or go for it and try and score a big-time touchdown. This is why the head coaches get paid the big bucks.
And for the second time tonight, his field goal unit comes out here. He had his lone attempt blocked earlier. And Carpenter knocks it through, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier, and this time there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route, really give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Detroit! Detroit! Set! Green 39! Green 39!
Back to throw here. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down. They'll toss it to Ajayi. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. So the run moves the chains, and here we go on 1st down.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a 1st down. They ran it and picked it up.
He'll drop to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando with our halftime report, but business to take care of before that. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they could do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. Thomas, the lone receiver, left. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. That is caught inside the 5. A good pickup there at 22.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They go play action here on first down. This will be caught at about the 5. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. When you throw it this close to the goal line, usually you're thinking touchdown. Here they actually complete it but lose yardage.
When you're this close to the goal line, you have to anticipate that maybe you're going to see a defense that you can make a case that there's 11 in the box. There's just no room. So I'm with you. You got to find a way to push things downfield a little bit.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Their big tight end as the first half is winding down. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Defense showing blitz. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number one. And the Saints signal for another timeout. So as they take it over, we step aside. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number one. Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So on fourth down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Fielded at the 20. So it's halftime here in New... never mind, Larry. Forget your halftime report. Apparently, we are set for the third quarter of action already. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But
this
you're
is
going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Caught left side, Hopkins. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Here's a give to Miller. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
He's got Fuller. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. Tenth carry now for Lamar Miller. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
On second down, here's Miller. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game. And I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
In the red zone this time. Out of the gun now on third down. The catch made by Miller. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on third. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Now back to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and it'll make it second down.
If you run an out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Back to throw. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Second down following the run. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
So completion on second down, that brings up third. They come out here in the eye. Now it's Ajayi. And he will have the first down here as he's up to the 15. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Everyone understood their role on that play. Defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
On play action, they'll throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. A good pickup there of 20 yards. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Now a toss play. It's Ajayi. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. He'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion as we just saw there, that's winning football.
Would have been right at about a 52-yard field goal try, but no, they are going to go for this thing on 4th down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Over the middle, open is Thomas. It's a gain of 7, and on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks.
I remember in pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to. He'll look to throw. He gets it to Thomas. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball.
Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the 4th. And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. They'll look to throw now on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. They dump off underneath to Ajayi. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and just like that, it's 3rd down. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field.
Looks like a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and 2.
Yeah, maybe expecting a throw. They'll run it now out of the gun. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I once had a defensive player in the NFL tell me, if I beat and dominate the guy across from me, I'm helping my team. Well, winning one-on-one battles is always a part of the game, but when you have good team defense, as we just saw there, one broken tackle, but he didn't get away because the rest of the guys arrived to put him on the ground.
So they settled for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the 4th.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give him some breathing room and lets him build up a little cushion.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time, fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really disappointing, not just for the guys on offense, but the defensive players, too, who thought, hey, we can put some points up and have a little momentum going. They've got to find a way to just get it out of their minds, let it go,
short-term memory,
and move on to the next series.
2nd and 10. He'll look to throw again. And to the left side, Fedorowicz has it. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch.
Here we go now.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Hurry up, here we go.
They run again with a Johnny. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
They'll set up a throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This to make it a 3-score game late. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and that'll push the lead up to 17. And you figure with that, this game's pretty well out of reach.
It would take a heck of a comeback at this point. Being 3 scores down, I think that's too much to ask with time winding down here in the 4th.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Charles, I know it's hard when live bullets are flying, but you cannot keep your hand up around the face mask area.
It is absolutely inexcusable nowadays. We talk about target areas all the time. You have to aim lower so that your hand doesn't get involved in the face mask.
All right, here we go. Boom,
Back to throw now on 1st down. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. Second down here after the incomplete pass. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Completion left side to Miller. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. We've got a 3rd and 11.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. 56.
He'll look to throw. Setting up the screen for Miller. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. Call it a gain of 3. And it'll be 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
They're already any slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. They isolate Hopkins on the left side. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's got time. Still back there. He sets to fire deep. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. An incredible play there on 4th down. 58 yards.
And they pick up the first down on a 4th down play. I don't know if the defense relaxed because they thought maybe they'd stopped them on 3rd down or if they just didn't protect the sticks very well. But, boy, that's a big-time pickup right there.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Miller, the lone setback. Again, he'll drop to throw. His pass caught at the 4. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Now the defense definitely showing blitz here.
Let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
When you put together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete.
We know all the receivers go through those tiptoe drills, right, trying to get their feet down inbounds. But a lot of the times what we don't talk about is when they're up in the air and they catch the ball. You ever notice how they're reaching back with their feet? Not just straight down, but back, because they're trying to create enough distance to make sure their feet are in bounds. They weren't.
And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Braxton Miller with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Texans cut into that lead.
4th and goal, and they found a way to throw it in the end zone for a touchdown.
And these defenses, they just like 3 downs, get off the field. But here they had to go 4, couldn't get it done.
A lot of the time, you're looking up and saying, okay, if I hold them for 3, at worst, I give up a field goal attempt. And they go for it. Sometimes it really affects the defense because maybe they're not mentally prepared to go that 4th down.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain down to about the 33. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line. And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here. Down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a play fake here on 1st down. This will be caught inside the 10. It's a gain of 20. Set up now with a 1st and goal.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. Nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
And now a first down following that long gain. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. That one looks like he'll throw here. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Taking it right down Broadway. A great read, and it's picked off. The 20, 10, 5, and they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. Short throw pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They've got the lead by 3, late stages of the game. What's the message here? Just hang on to the football? Is it that simple?
That's exactly right, because ball security is paramount. And you got a small cushion. A field goal can tie you, but you don't even think that way. Just take care of the ball, close out the game.
Will they close it out? We're about to find out. Drops it off to Ajayi. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able. And now the Texans want to call another timeout. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
Watch it now, Marty. Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19. Here we go. Green, 39.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. He'll drop to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Touchdown, New Orleans. Their dangerous wide receiver. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints add on to their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside at 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. And a look now at Lamar Miller. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've An adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were. Short play like that in this situation this late, that's a win for the defense.
No doubt. I remember something Coach Madden used to talk about all the time. Sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. You have to take what you need. And in this case, the offense is taking what the defense is giving them, not what they need.
7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. And quickly, they get to the line. They'll look to throw here on first down. And that will be caught, but out of bounds. Out of bounds, ruled incomplete here.
Out routes are always timing routes. And if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he led him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And now Miller hit, and he fumbles. And the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster. They'll set up a throw. He finds his target, Fuller. They get 9 yards there, and they get a first down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
They'll set up to throw. Dumps it complete to Miller. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. And the offense moving quickly to the line. And now down to 24 seconds after the spike. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. They isolate Hopkins on the left side. They'll look to throw again. Finding time. And he's got some space here. Whoosh. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. A great read, and it's picked off. And to the 12, that's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turning over 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing, but I'll guarantee you, it's not very good.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And got his man complete. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear